Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Kakudash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is just a quick lesson, and really want to just bring out this information just in case nobody else does. Going into a potential false flag, coming back to the least of the flock. All right. And not because I say so, but Stephen Ben-Nun himself is going to point the finger. All right. So we'll start here at Matthew 24 and 6, as the famous Matthew 24 and 6. All right. We'll start at King James. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, up here, NIV, wars and rumors of war. NLT, you will hear of wars and threats of wars. Okay, a threat could be in the same line as a false flag. Okay, ESV, rumors. Let's get down here to Aramaic Bible. It is going to happen that you are going to hear battles and reports. Okay, and even further down, noise of battles close by and the news of battles. So we got news, rumors, threats, and reports. All right. Now let's go to the rumor, if nobody heard it, okay? Because this goes into New York City, the public service announcement to, get a go bag ready. And before that, a week or two before get a go bag ready, it was be prepared in case of nuclear fallout. Okay, so with that, I don't know how many people have this information, but this is Israeli News Live. This is your boy Stephen Ben-Nun. I don't know why it says Jana. Must be his wife or whatever, but Stephen Ben-Nun, right? July 28th. All right. Now, what does this say? New Yorkers can breathe easy. The dirty device has been diffused. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a portion of this in which he's going to make the implication of who planted a dirty bomb, meaning nuclear fallout or radioactive. A dirty bomb is radioactive material in a bomb that could potentially, radiate the area, which is why they didn't say anything about a nuclear bomb going off, but they said in case of an event that they kind of deferred to a nuclear event, that you should go inside and wash up, stay away from the windows, and wait by the television for further. So that doesn't really apply. You know what? We should probably get it. Okay. There was a, let me see. Let's go here real quick. Let's bring that out. It says New York PSA NUCLEAR. Okay? And we'll just point at it, okay? This was it. All right, New York nuclear PSA tells citizens what to do in case of an attack. What kind of attack? Okay, nuclear meaning what? Nuclear material, a dirty bomb. So, and then it says, get inside fast. Get into a building, move away from windows, stay inside, shut doors and windows, go to the middle of the building, get clean, immediately remove clothing and shower with soap or shampoo. This doesn't really describe a nuclear bomb. If a nuclear bomb went up, everything would be leveled flat. This more describes a dirty bomb incident. 2 weeks ago, okay? And if we go to it, it'll tell us the exact date, okay? July 12th, okay? See how vague the word is? New York nuclear, it doesn't say nuclear or missile. It doesn't use the words missile. It uses an attack. A dirty bomb is a nuclear attack, but it's not a nuclear missile. Okay? It's not a classical nuke, if you will. And then when you go to the actual wording of it, it's more in line with a dirty bomb than it is a missile. So we all laughed at this when we saw, yeah, right, everything's going to be leveled, everything's going to be on fire. How do you go into your building? Well, this is directly associated with this, a dirty device. So let's listen to a portion of this guy, because he's going to finger who he believes did it, and who he believes did it is in the title of his page. He is claiming to be a small hat, okay, and he's pointing finger at probably what they call who they call the Zionists, if you understand who that is, because that's what he does. But let's watch him finger who he believes planted the dirty device. Okay, and why he says only 3 countries can disguise a dirty device so that it can't be found. This is what he's going to say. All right, and then he's going to mention the Angry Prepper, and then we're going to go to Angry Prepper and his post that he posted this morning, just to get some context, because not a lot of people or brothers in the truth have brought this information out. So if it's going to start with me, then so be it. And if somebody else already did it, then that's fine too. But be not ignorant of a small matter or a large. Paraphrase.
The dirty device that we've been tracking there in New York City there for quite some time. And of course, it was always my very disgruntled belief of wondering why this hadn't been diffused sooner. And then later I was updated a second time, which I shared with you guys, that the reason why it had not been diffused already was because it was being cloaked very, very cleverly, and that meant only a few countries in the world that had that ability. And one of those countries happens to be the little place just south of Lebanon. That country just south of Lebanon. Of course, Russia would have that capability, as well as China. So you got 3 countries in the world that have the ability to cloak a device like that. And of course, anybody that remembers anything back in September of a certain date in a certain year, which you're not allowed to say that any longer, and the conspiracy theories that ran around that, and the certain group of people that didn't show up for work that day, and so therefore they were not victims to those towers falling down. And then of course, not long ago, all the young Hasidic Jewish people were told to go to the Catskill Mountains there, to their oasis there, and do it prematurely from the time they normally go. It just seemed very eerily like a repeat of history.
Okay, so he actually did mention their name. Okay. So all of that little rant right there pointed a finger at who he believes planted this device. Okay. Now, this here goes back to, okay, I showed, this was the first warning, okay, that New York PSA tells citizens. That's the first one. The second one was emergency management now telling New Yorkers to have a go bag ready. This was last week. Be ready to evacuate. Okay. Even this goes to what? It goes to a dirty device, not a missile. Okay. So the wording of these emergency management public service announcements, it goes to that this was actually taking place. That this situation here is a real thing, okay? But it says that the intel now is that it was diffused. They found it, they located it, and they diffused it before it could go off. This guy just told you who he believes is responsible for it, okay? Now we'll watch the New York, not the New York Prepper.
Break it down. You begin to get
Angry
into
Prepper,
the...
Slovakia. All right, so this is Angry Prepper's video that came out today. Let's see what he says. Where is it? Okay, right here. Okay, so Angry Prepper. Let's go to it.
Nope.
Slovakia. Angry Prepper channel premiered 5 hours ago. Was a dirty device diffused in NYC? Now, Banoon, this Israeli News Live guy, said he got his information from this guy. So last night when I saw that he had one of those pre-channel announcements that he was going to go live today, I was like, okay, I can't wait to see what he says. And this is what he said. All right, so this is, we're going to watch Angry Prepper and what he has to say about this. Okay. Now those public service announcements were real, and they did go out. And they don't describe a missile, but they do describe a dirty device. So let's watch this. It's lucky.
Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about a possible dirty device in New York City. Now, it is still a rumor. There is no confirmation whatsoever.
You look like a Ephraimite, by the way. He just said there's no confirmation. Listen close to his wording. He's being very careful with what he says.
Prepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about a possible dirty device in New York City. Now, it is still a rumor. There is no confirmation.
He called it a rumor, going back to Matthew 24:6. This is a report. It's an update. It is a possible threat, and it's news. All right, I'll let it play.
City. Now, it is still a rumor. There is no confirmation whatsoever. Though a guy named Israel News Live stated that it was diffused in the city. Now, I just found out about this guy probably a couple months ago, if not maybe a year. And in the last video he did, he mentioned my name, and people sent me the video, and I watched the video, and I'm like, oh, all right, very good. To back that video up, guys, the plausibility of a dirty device being in New York City is very high. And it only came to me as being very high after I spoke to somebody who worked downtown. I can't tell you what agency he worked for, but I can tell you that we spoke. And I can tell you that he did not deny or confirm of such device. Now, knowing the guy for about 20 years or so, we've had conversations over the years about many things. He wasn't able to tell me right then and there whether it was or not. And I had asked him the first time, hey, is there a dirty device in the city? And he doesn't answer. But then he answers about devices and packages being sent throughout the city because of the whole Roe versus Wade. So I asked him again, hey, there's a rumor about a dirty device being diffused. Is that true? He doesn't answer. So right then and there, that tells me that something is up. Okay. The next day, I go back to the messaging to message him something else, and the conversation was gone. That was telling to me. That was actually loud and telling to me. And I was like, all right, then the possibility of a device being in the city was very high. With that, guys, I had asked him a week ago about a nuclear attack being a possibility, and he said no. The Emergency Management Office just put that out because they were bored. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? And he goes, because we know their shtick, we know their game. I'm like, all right. So he tells me that, but then asking him the question about a dirty device, and he goes, silent. Now, this guy would have told me, no, that's bullshit, it's a rumor, or he would have fucking lied to me and told me no, rather, and he would have told me yes. Now, being that he can't tell me yes, and he didn't say no, and he deleted the conversation, to me that was a yes. But again, that's me speculating, and that's me coming up with my own conclusions. I am not saying that there was, but with an irresponsible nuclear PSA preparedness video and then a bug out video a week or 2 weeks later, the conclusion is looking like, and very highly, that there was a dirty device in the city and it was diffused. Now, I did look on Citizen app and I didn't see unknown police activity anywhere in the city. So that was the other problem I was having, because normally, guys, when like 3 cop cars get together, people are filming the cops. Oh, what are they doing? And then they put it on Citizen app. There was no such thing, or at least I couldn't find it on Citizen app. So either it was a low-key event and they got it shut down, or it was a high-key event and just no one really reported it on Citizen. There is that. Now, the reason I talk about this, guys, because in the past, the city has always misreported or not reported certain events at all. And I remember being an EMT and a fireman, and certain things went down, and I'm like, yo, why didn't they report that? Well, because they didn't want to get the city riled up.
He's speaking of reports. Reports, news, threats, rumors.
They didn't want to speak bad about a person. For example, Sean Bell, right? That's the guy that was at the strip club that got shot by the cops and they couldn't find the gun and all the scoopla. Well, Sean Bell was actually a notorious drug dealer in his area. But they paint him out to be a national hero, at least here in New York City. So much that they gave him a street. They named the street after a notorious drug dealer. How's that for fucking not reporting the right news? So again, guys, we get misleaded all the time. We get misleaded, for example, 9/11. There was a specific event that happened the day after, and I was actually the EMT on the call for this. And there was supposedly a white van on the George Washington Bridge with a few devices on it. You know what they are. I don't have to say it. With that, guys, we sat on there for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we were told to leave. It was all clear and we can go. So we left. But interestingly enough, there was certain devices on that van, but it was never confirmed in the news. Now, it does make sense because it was the day after 2 buildings came down, or rather 4 buildings came down. And with that, everybody was focused on what was going on downtown and not bringing attention to the possibility of another attack coming in a day later. That was never mentioned. Again, we all know, guys, the media is controlled by whoever wants to control it and however they want to control it. And being that certain things are not mentioned and other things are, we know, guys, that they can steer us in the direction they want us to go in, basically. Or rather, the information they want out, they will tell us, and the information they don't want out, they don't tell us. Now, that is not saying to be a conspiracy theorist about everything and look at everything like, what the fuck? Did that guy really die by getting shot by, a drug dealer, or was his wife? No, we don't question everything, guys. We just take certain things with a grain of salt. And anything that the media reports to us, we take it all with a grain of salt. But you still got to sift through it. Like if a kid here in the city gets shot and they report it, guess what? The kid in the city got shot because if you go to that area, there's a memorial. His mother's fucking outside crying with fucking Al Sharpton on the shoulders. So there's always that you can see. But guys, when it comes to things like this and they don't report it, I always find that to be a problem, because it would have been nice to know that, all right, there was a possibility that people, wherever this device was, could have died. And maybe they want to stay out of that area. Because normally when you plant a device like that, it's in a highly populated area like 42nd Street, 34th Street, downtown 14th Street. Those are the areas that would normally be targeted, amongst others. There are other areas throughout the city that you would target as well. But guys, this was just my speculation, or me speculating on what was in the city and the high probability of it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I am not saying there was, but I am definitely not saying there wasn't.
See him covering his tracks?
I'm just saying I came to this conclusion, and I'm throwing this information out there for you guys to come to your own conclusion. Other than that, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.
All right, so what do we get from this? All right, so this guy had information that there was a dirty bomb. And then suddenly they start putting out public service announcements that don't go with a missile, they go with a dirty device. Okay. Then the information comes out on Hal Turner. This is where this guy, Stephen Bannoun, he got his information from Hal Turner. Okay. Which is where this guy gets a lot of his information. Okay. And Hal Turner is the one that reported that they found the bomb and they defused it. Okay. Now, Stephen Bannoun says he believes he knows who did it. And he gave you that information. Okay. He basically said the people who took down the buildings, the ones that were dancing, had a van and they were celebrating a little ways away, the dancing Jews, if you understand who that is. I wonder if we type that into a search, what would come up? Let's see. Let's try that real quick. Dancing Jews 911. Eyewitness saw people celebrating 911 in Jersey City. Okay? This is what comes up when we put this in. Let's take a look. Let's see. The day Israel attacked America. Look at this. Look at that. Okay. Let's take a look at this. It's only a minute long. They're not saying nothing. They must have footage of the van and the dancing small hats. Let's see what they got. This is Daily News, some little channel. It's being thwarted right now. Come on now. Let's see. Yeah, somebody's blocking it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we all remember this. Okay, this must be the shot from Jersey. What do we got here? Let's see. No sound on this. Oh, that's it. So why would they put this up? Let's see. Let's see. It says everyone knows them. Everyone knows who they are, but they will never be named because of the power they hold. New Jersey said that he saw a few people celebrating the day. My buddy who lives in New York, West New York, New Jersey, said that he saw a few people celebrating. He was astounded, very worried because his stepfather was a paramedic, cheering and dancing on a rooftop. The 3 dancing Israelis were picked up by FBI, and they told FBI, the Palestinians are your problem. Of course, that's what they said. I remember, this is 2 years ago, I remember the dancing Israeli. They cleaned it up super fast and thoroughly. There were a number of young Israeli Mossad agents taking pictures and visibly animated by the, denouement, later arrested for suspicion of explosives. Okay, that goes back to the van that the prepper was talking about. Yeah, there were the 5 small hats who were arrested and deported on suspicion of being involved. Okay, so just interesting, all right? So what does this lead us to? If there's a dirty bomb that they're trying to ignite, Stephen Ben-Nun of Israeli News Live named 3 possible countries that could have did it. Okay? Of course, if the one that he said that he suspected, right, the small hats, if they did it, who would they blame it on, especially right now? Of course they would blame it on Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping. Okay? And what would that constitute? Where would that take us? I'm not saying that this is the event, and that's what I'm saying. Hey, it could be a false flag that gets World War III jumping off and popping. If this is what they're doing, okay, 49. Jeremiah 49 will close after this. I'm going too long already. But I'm just making a point, and I'll show you what point I'm making. Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants. Shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The least of the flock are the Amalekites. Okay? The ones who Stephen Ben-Nun said planted the dirty device. Why would they do that? To start World War III. Okay? On a false flag. All right? Let's get this real quick and we'll go ahead and we'll close. This is Sirach 5 and 15. Is it 15? Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. All right? So that's my report for today. My news. All right? The rumors and threats of war. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. With that, we're going to say shalom.